The Lakers won a game, something I did not predict. And honestly, these playoffs have been very unexpected. I want to talk about a few of these matchups because honestly, uh, I do want to say like some of these series have been way more conclusive than I would have thought. First, the Magic tied up the series versus the Cavaliers. This is honestly incredible as the Cavs looked like the clear favorites, and at home they won two games, and now that they went on the road for Orlando, and then they went back to Orlando for two other games. Now in Orlando, they couldn't win a damn game. This is honestly pretty surprising as we see that the fact that the Magic had to go in a 27-5 run and they beat the living crap out of the Cleveland Cavaliers to win this game. I do believe that the Orlando Magic have one thing that the Cavaliers don't, and that is the better coach. As much as I like the Cleveland coach, I do think that Jamal Mosley is a much better coach. And I think that what he's done for the Magic this season and getting them defensively oriented has been a very big thing for their success. And that third quarter by the Magic was just amazing. I think that when you look at the stats, especially, you can see, things and statistics like the fact that Franz Wagner took over this game scoring 34 points. Meanwhile, Paulo looked like he would just disappeared. Jared Allen has played great, and so did Evan Mobley, but Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell have been completely shut down. I believe that this is because the Magic are just focusing on stopping these guys. They're not letting them get out. And with that being said, we could see a clear, path for how this uh, series is going to go. It's going to be a competitive one. And even if one of the teams wins the next two games, that's still a six-game series, which will probably be the longest series that we'll see in this playoffs. Then for the Thunder and the Pelicans, the Thunder have just been putting in the work to the Pelicans. And I feel like the biggest reason why is because after they won that first game, the confidence which that has given them in a playoff setting has been insane. Like in that first game, they barely got to 90 points and they've easily crossed 100 in every other game. I think that if they would have lost that first game, they would have probably been a more competitive series. And the fact that the Pelicans couldn't take advantage of them being at home is very surprising. And I feel like the biggest reason why the Pelicans lose so much is because of Brandon Ingram. He is not a playoff performer, and he needs that guy to be on top of him. And I feel like Zion getting injured has made Ingram look much worse because people look at Ingram and they're like, yo, you're supposed to be the star, but it's like, no, you're not. Ingram was never the star of this team. The real star is Zion. So when Zion doesn't play, I feel like they feel very confident in the fact that they can beat the Pelicans and no, I mean the Thunder. But when Zion doesn't play, what are you really gonna do? I believe that the biggest proponent of the OKC winning has been Josh Giddey. Actually, we saw that Jalen Williams and Shea were playoff performers from the first game, but when Josh Giddey didn't do anything, I feel like it was like a black hole in their starting lineup. And as much as I don't like Josh Giddey because of what he did with the, underage girl situation, I do have to say that him playing well brings the Thunder to like a whole nother tier of good, which it's hard for them to get when he's playing bad. Then for the Heat and the Celtics, this was just an absolute blowout. Bam tried, Tyler Hero played terribly, and the rookies are good. But really, this was just what most people expected the series to be. The Heat being incompetent on offense and not being able to put that many points up. Meanwhile, the Celtics are just the most completely offensively like rounded team and the best offensive team in the league. If we're being 1,000% honest, it was their game to win, and unless the Heat catch another heater, and this is coming from a Heat fan, it's gonna be very hard for the Celtics to lose this series. For the Lakers and Nuggets game, I mean, come on. The Lakers won? I couldn't believe it. I thought that they were easily going to get swept again. And even though I do think that they're going to lose the series, I have no faith in that they will win this game. And the reason why is mostly due to the fact that they have to go back and play in Denver. And I don't think Jokic or Murray are going to allow themselves to drop 3 games in a row, as it's never happened in the playoffs before. And why am I even talking about this? The Lakers are not winning this series. That's for sure. That's for sure. The Lakers are not winning this series. But they won this game. LeBron dropped 30. He's played great. Rui Hachimura was running out there, but Anthony Davis, D'Lo, and Austin Reeves in total scored most of the team's points just by themselves. Anthony Davis had 23 rebounds. LeBron was doing everything out there. He had that huge steal. And for the Lakers, their biggest thing is just like, how far can you push this style of play? It's obvious that you guys turned it up in the one game where you guys were going to get eliminated. So if you guys could do this in this game, then what happened to the other 2 games where you had the lead for most of the game? And it's like, in my opinion, I think the Lakers are just lazy. I think the reason why they're losing in the playoffs is because they themselves have been pretty trash in terms of being consistent throughout an entire game. In this game, they did not look lazy. They did not look tired in the fourth quarter. They didn't look like they were, gassed, or they didn't look like they were playing slow. It seemed like up until the last minute, they were playing at 100% effort to make sure that the Nuggets didn't win. So it's like, if you could do that for this game, then you could do that for the series, because you get more rest. Like, LeBron in the fourth quarter was dunking still, and in most of the other games, even though he has been playing amazingly in this series, we do have to say, like, we haven't seen this level of intensity from the Lakers in the fourth quarter for this series. And that, I feel like, has more to do with the fact that the Lakers finally realize that they have to step up, as opposed to letting themselves be smacked on by the Nuggets. And when it comes to all of these things, that's where I feel like the differentiation is made between the Nuggets and the Lakers. And I said this the other day, like, the Nuggets will go 70% effort for, the entire game. And then the Lakers will go 100% effort for the first 2 quarters and 50% or less effort in the last 2 quarters. And then it's like, okay, that makes sense, I mean, if you put in 100% effort, you're going to get tired, you're going to not be able to play as well. But there needs to be a sustained level of intensity coming from one side to the other, especially when you're talking about a team which wants to win a championship. Like, there's no way you put up your best first 2 quarters and the Nuggets allow you to go up, and then it gets to that third quarter and then you just completely choke, tank, and do whatever you do. Now these series stand in a point where they're honestly pretty interesting, as we see that the Cavs series is tied. Now we know that the Pelicans are out of there, and the Lakers too, because both of their series they went down 3-0 and no one's ever come back from 3-0. Then with other things, right, like, with other series like the Heat, Celtics, and the and the Lakers and Nuggets were we just saw some changes in it. Well, no, the Heat, Celtics, and the Magic Cavaliers, those series is also are shaping up to be pretty interesting.